Good evening. Hi there, George. It's Porfirio.
Hey Porfirio, we will be starting shortly. Everyone that's on Zoom and joining us, and
Great.
it's about 5 minutes. Thank you so much. I'll be
Sure.
coming a few people now. Thank you. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining on Zoom and whoever's watching live on YouTube, thank you. We'll be starting in about 2 minutes or so, okay? Hi, everyone.
Hi,
Hello, good afternoon.
good evening.
Who's excited? I'm excited. I love these meetings. Um, October 7th, this is the Business Development Committee meeting for Community Board 12. My name is Joel Abreu. I've been the chair for this committee for 4.5 years now. About to hit my 5th year. Feel old. I'm a vet. Here at the committee, what we do, is we try to harness as much resources for our small businesses, from lending to capital to CBO programs, workforce development, marketing, anything that we could help our small businesses. We bring this to this committee, and then we disseminate it throughout the community. That's the goal for this committee. That's the goal. It's always been. I'm excited. I'm gonna let the committee. I think we're half of us are here. Well, almost half.
Who's on Zoom?
I think none of us. We
We
don't have quorum yet.
We're not voting on anything anyway.
We might be voting because
might
of
be
the
voting.
budgets.
For a raise.
So, but introduce yourselves. Bruce, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Bruce Robertson. Been on the committee for a while, also on traffic and transportation. And yesterday we had a wonderful day thanks to Joel. Onsite Bank opened up, and we're waiting for them to get their grant that the committee passed a resolution and the full board passed back in June.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was April.
we welcome them to the community, and it's a big deal at North Cove zone, which is just going gangbusters.
Absolutely. Yes, Bruce, it was awesome. We'll talk a little bit about it during the meeting. Go ahead, Darlene, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Darly Cornell. This is my beginning of the second year in the community board and in this committee as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Welcome. Let's see who's on. Before we go on Zoom, we have the presence of our vice chair of the board, first vice chair of the board. Please, Anthony, introduce yourself.
That's right. Hi, everyone. I'm Anthony Viola. I'm the first vice chairperson of Community Board 12. I've been in this role since January. I serve on the licensing committee and then our executive.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. We also have a member of the public that is also going to be presenting, is our first presenter of the night. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jessica Heatherton. I'm with Brickville Real Estate. I'm currently working on leasing the George Washington bus terminal.
Awesome.
Oh.
Can everybody, can I get a thumbs up, guys? Can you guys hear?
We could use more volume with the people there.
Okay. Okay.
Seems to be owls now. Is the owl on?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to make
It
sure.
doesn't look like it, it's just no light.
It's staying in one place, so
Yeah.
it's not on.
Is that supposed to be your mic or speaker?
Right, and that's
The
what I'm
mic
thinking.
is on this side.
You
Right
know
now
what?
you got to go up in.
Do you know how to work it?
I figured because I
Because I've
That or they just need to speak up. That's all.
okay.
It's not bad.
I think it is connected. Can you hear us now? Is it everything okay now?
We hear you fine.
All right.
Yeah,
Great.
we hear, Joel, we hear you. It's just, I guess they're a little further away from the mic. Yeah, so just.
Okay. I'll make sure we speak up. But please introduce yourself, Jackie, to the rest of us.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Jackie Tessman, Director of Community Business Development for Community League of the Heights, Cloth. I am not on the committee, but I do attend the meetings. Yeah.
Okay.
So hi.
Thank you, Jackie. I always love your presence. Thank you for we were there last night, last afternoon, and it was great. But we also have the presence our representative, our Manhattan Borough President, Mr. Porfirio Figueroa. Welcome. Thank you so much for coming to the committee's meeting tonight.
Well, thank you for the invitation. It's nice to be here. I know I don't normally attend these, but I accepted the invitation so I could see the presentation and offer a little support. So my name is Porfirio Figueroa. I'm the Deputy Director of Community Affairs for the Manhattan Borough President's Office, Mark Levine.
All right. Thank you so much, Porfirio. Welcome. I'm glad you accepted our invitation. We're having some technical difficulties because the audio and the owl is not working.
It's working. I think we just pass it.
Oh, do the output? There you go.
Oh, you're right. It's not working.
Okay, this got unplugged. Mira, que tú estás apagado, yo creo.
Ah,
You gotta be
here it is.
careful.
Oh, we had no power.
Yeah.
You can get like those big, those rubber mat things that go over cables and
Mhm.
rooms.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes. But we don't even, I think we're good. We have not that much cake.
Over there.
I'm like looking at it like, okay, wait.
It's like a DJ setup.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what's happening. I made the sound. Like it's
It
on.
looked like it lit up for a second.
That little owl sound means
It's on. Maybe it just needs some time to. Can anybody on Zoom just speak for us? See if it's on. No? Does it usually pop up right away?
Mm-hmm. And now it's definitely on. I tried to change the cable, but I just changed the whole laptop because it wasn't working. First, I tried to change the cable.
Yeah, these are new owls, right?
Yeah, the old ones were better. Let me try to get the app. I'm gonna try to get it on the app,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna also try to.
Okay. So I'm just gonna I'm just gonna continue. So thank you so much for everybody. Thank you guys for being patient with us. All right. All right. So let's move on to the agenda. So we have a couple things that we want to talk to you guys about today. First, I have a few announcements. The first announcement, Bruce already brought it up. We had a successful grand opening of Ponce Bank in this community. As you guys know, we passed a resolution back in the spring for their BDD application in New York State, which will give them $20 million in funding to reduce the risk of down lending to our communities, as well as financial education seminars. They'll be able to give out more loans, more credit applications. So this is a win-win for a community who is severely underbanked. Great grand opening. Elected officials were there. It was awesome. Hopefully, we could get this bank to lend out and cause more commercial activity in 207 and all of Washington Heights. So big ups to Ponce Bank and good luck on their application. Great. Second thing I wanted to mention is we have and maybe Jackie, you could talk a little bit about the Federal Reserve survey that Cloth is partnering with.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Well, it really is. They're just trying to get an idea of, yes, we are partnering with Federal Reserve. It's something that survey they do for small businesses every few years. They're just trying to get an idea of, what kind of obstacles businesses have been up against the last few years. It really is as simple as that. If anybody's interested, the link is in our Instagram bio under Federal Reserve Survey. And it's also in our newsletter. I don't have the link handy though, Joelle. I would have if I didn't know that you were going to. I will look for it though. Come
No,
back and put it in the chat.
I'll put it on the minutes, so anybody
Okay.
who's interested,
Okay.
looking at that survey.
Yeah, it's open only for another week, I think. So we were successful with one response.
Oh, great. That's why I figured that it was overwhelming. So I said, let me just mention it in the meeting. Because
Um,
that's good feedback for the Federal Reserve. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Porfirio.
yeah, may I offer a suggestion? I know the local bid is directly connected to businesses, and so is the local Washington Heights and Inwood Chamber. They could actually get that out ASAP for you if you reach out to them.
I the chamber knows about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the bid I don't know. See, the problem of Porfirio is that we're not allowed because the link that we have is linked to cloth, so we're not allowed to distribute it with other
I understand.
organizations.
Okay.
I guess it's a federal thing,
Okay.
or
Bizarre. It's the only way they're going to get to other businesses. So, okay.
yeah. I listen. I know. I hear
Alright.
you.
I'll let Isidro know. I have a meeting with him tomorrow, so I'll let him know. If not, then hopefully I could text him about it, see if he can include it. Carl, welcome, Carl. Thank you so much. So that's something I wanted to mention. Secondly, another announcement I wanted to talk about is our November calendar. As always, our meeting lands on election day next month. So we have to move it. We have the option of the 12th of November. And as it falls, it's also Veteran Day on the following Tuesday. So the earliest that we can do is anybody on licensing here? Yes, you're, but in the committee. No, not cannabis, liquor license.
The regular
No,
license.
nobody's here. Okay, so, we could do it on Wednesday. Is that okay, right? Wednesday at 7 o'clock, like we always do. Anybody opposed to doing it on Wednesday, November 12th? Let me know. It's just because we have Election Day and Veterans Day, that month. Yeah. Okay. Bruce, let me know if that's okay.
That's good.
Okay. And Carl?
Yeah.
That's good, okay. So our next meeting will be on November 12th at 7 p.m. Licensing is also on that day. I am unfortunately no longer part of licensing, but that's a call for a different day. 7 o'clock here. I'll probably be over there on that inside the office since licensing will have that same time. Okay, good. So, let me just write that. Okay, now. Okay, so, just to move on the agenda, we have, since we have quorum now, I could call this meeting to order. What time is it? 7:30, 7:29.
Yeah.
We have a motion? Start the meeting?
Yeah, I move.
Carl, second, and Darley. Great, thank you. So we have a presenter. So last month, Mr. Martin, I forgot his last name, Collins, right? Collins came in. He was concerned about the
Martin Collins.
Martin Collins, about the lack of commercial tenants that the George Washington Bridge Terminal has. I also noticed it, but I did see that there was some commercial activity there, but it wasn't until the closing of Bunny Cafe where I started to notice that there is a lot of commercial spaces out there that are not being occupied. So he raised that concern. And I reached out to Port Authority. Port Authority didn't respond to me, and then I looked at the website and I got the contact information for Ripco, which is the leasing company that overtook the kind of the load to get commercial clients to go into and rent the spaces. So I got in contact with Jessica. Jessica's here with us today. We spoke briefly. Please, Jessica, come closer as we work on this mic. Just because we want to know a little bit about the history, like you spoke to me about it, about what's going on, what went down, and what is the plan for the future. And you can sit right here. Right here is good, just so we can talk a little bit about it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Of course, hi.
Hi.
Evening.
So tell me a little bit about the history of what happened there. And
So essentially, my company and I took over the leasing. We began discussions with the new owners. I believe they took over the project 2 years ago.
Forgive me, can you state the name of the company again? Because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
having trouble hearing it.
Hi, so I'm with Ripco Real Estate.
What is the name?
Ripco Real Estate.
You're a commercial leasing company, right?
That is correct. So,
And your name again?
Jessica Hetherington.
Edmonton?
Yes.
There's a handout.
Oh, yes, get the hand out, guys, there you go.
Oh, thank you very
Jessica,
much.
you need one of these?
Oh, no, thank you, please.
You know it by heart.
I have a copy in front, but I want you guys to make sure that you guys have that.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna share, let me share the screen before, let's, give us 1 second before you continue.
Sure.
Let me share it with everyone.
Do you have your Series 1 OWL technician license?
No, clear.
Say it again.
I don't know what else to do.
So it's not working?
Neither one?
Neither one, neither cable.
It's okay.
At first, it wasn't working, and I switched the laptops.
I take it you're located
That's weird.
in the area
Yes, I live in Manhattan. I'm in Harlem.
and your
The
business.
old ones were better.
I work primarily in Upper Manhattan.
Is it a setting in the computer?
Washington Heights.
I'm gonna share this document just so you guys can see, kind of the plans, that we're working with. Sorry, Jessica.
Well, take your time. I'm here at your disposal for going to.
Thank you. Sorry, guys.
Saw mine.
Now you get Rudy.
Come on.
Thanks for being here. Do you want some water?
Didn't realize how much it was.
We used to have meetings in person and they worked a lot better.
I was thinking, because I think we got the Zoom call invitation as well, and then I was like, you know what, I'll just come look
Thank you.
everyone in the eye.
Yeah, it's much better in person.
Last time
I tried like my phone cable.
That's it. Is there another USB-C port? But it's always working.
And I got another
You
cable.
just check the email, see if it went through the email. Just share the screen.
What is there?
Oh, it is?
It was
We can-
email.
Okay.
Yeah, and that would be the one that connects to the projector.
It should be in the background.
It's not even identifying, so it's crazy.
You looking for the presentation?
Yeah.
It's right there where that first tab.
Oh, there you go. Oh, no, that's
No, that's that computer.
Oh,
That's
okay.
you.
No, this is not it.
No, the tab in the top left.
Oh.
Yep.
Boom.
That was all the secret codes.
Right. Can everybody see that online? Okay. All right, can everybody see that? Jackie and Porfirio.
Yes.
Okay, great. Go ahead, Jessica. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but
No,
please
it's-
continue.
Thank you so much for having me this evening. So basically, new owners took over the retail portion of so they're doing a land lease for the terminal. So they're handling primarily the retail port spaces. The port still controls and operates the bus level. And so we were brought in about 2 years ago to start looking at what leasing the space and what opportunities and tenants in the area would be a good mix and fit. The spaces were incredibly raw, and what I mean by that is they were concrete. And so there were a lot of in the windows, kind of like couldn't really see the retail. And so we wanted to kind of make a couple of changes, brighten it up while we were in the process of leasing. Prior to this, I'm told the rents were much higher. There were CAM charges, maintenance charges that were cost prohibitive for a lot of the tenants that were seeking to lease the space in the terminal. And so what we did was we decided to go ahead and do gross leases, which means that one, we lowered the rent. So we're at $65 per square foot on the, if you just scroll down to the what we're calling the Marshalls level.
Marshall?
The
Oh,
Marshalls level.
Marshall's store.
The fort, yes.
Is that what they're paying?
No, well, no, but that lease predates our leasing efforts. So we have the retail spaces that are on Broadway. Within the terminal, we have the Fort Washington, what we call the Marshalls level, and then we have the subway level. On the Marshalls level, Bunny Cafe, it has left, but they are being replaced. They have a tenant that's already buying it out and will be reopening shortly. Okay, we have a pharmacy that has signed a lease. They're currently being built out as well. Diamond Braces is also gonna be replaced with a new dentist office. We have just recently opened a physical therapist office that took the space closest to the elevator. And then currently we have what was the former VS Berry and another space that's the largest that we have, that's about 1,100 square feet in the corner.
And this is the ground floor.
And this is what we're calling the Marshalls level because
Okay.
it's ground to the Fort George side, but not necessarily on the Broadway because of the grade
Oh,
change.
because of the grade change.
Because of the grade change.
Yeah, because Fine Fair would probably be first level up, further up.
Correct,
Okay.
because there's that grade change that goes from
Right.
Broadway. And so the leasing efforts there have been pretty good. We have a deal that's pending for the VS Berry currently. Part of the challenge is, again, that the spaces were in raw condition. And in order to get the spaces leased, they would have to go through the Port Authority to get build out and approvals. And that was proving to be a little bit of a challenge just because, again, having the know-how to go through the process of filing your permits and getting all of those approvals. And so what we decided to do was to go ahead and white box, what we call white boxing the spaces. And so take on that work so that when we're turning over, delivering the spaces to any new tenants, they wouldn't have to go through that process. Hopefully there'll be minimal work on their end beyond cosmetic changes. So they would then be able to avoid having to go through that process for the most part. And so that's kind of helped streamline and allow us to get more tenants to sign up for the leases a lot quicker. in addition to the fact that we're doing gross leases. So we do not charge CAM, they are not paying taxes. Whatever the number is that we are the deal that we get to, that is the number that they are paying in total. And so that's incredibly helpful, I think, especially as we try to get more local tenants to get in there.
Is that sustainable, or is that a short-term lease kind of thing? I mean, that's sustainable for you as a business, and how does that lease work out for the businesses once they sign it?
So we're really looking for longer term leases. Ultimately, at the end of the day, we'd really like to see something, at least a 5-year commitment to the center. If there is a tenant that comes to us and says, hey, we're a startup, we're not fully committed to the center just yet, maybe want to do a 3-year lease, we're open to having that conversation.
So these triple net leases,
No, they're gross leases.
could you explain the difference?
Sure. So typically with the triple net leases, the tenant will pay the full taxes, not just a percentage rent over the base year. They'll pay the full taxes. They'll pay all of their expensive. They'll pay their CAM charges, etc.
Water and sanitation.
They'll pay their water, sanitation, etc.
But if it goes up, the landlord doesn't take the hit, the tenant does.
They're correct.
So the gross lease, how does that work?
So with the gross lease, it basically, you're not paying any CAM charges, you're not paying any taxes, it's all included in
Okay.
whatever the rent is. Okay, so the only thing that you would pay for is any, utilities that you decide to bring into
Right.
the space, your electric, et cetera. That's for you to, have,
Yeah.
deal with Con Ed or
And
whoever.
are there escalations during the 5-year period?
Sure, so that's negotiated on the upfront. So if you decide to sign a 5-year lease, we kind of negotiate what that percentage looks like. Standard that we've been seeing is 3% per annum. Again, everything is negotiable. That's a conversation that typically is had.
That's reasonable.
We have had some tenants, and most of the tenants thus far have signed 10-year leases.
Wow.
That's great.
And so we're really looking for them to be there long-term. But again, we are open if, someone wanted to possibly go with a 5-year.
So, and thank you guys for answering those questions. I'm gonna open it up in a few. So
Thank you.
prior to this, I know you guys just came up into ownership 2 years ago. Prior to that, they were not involved in the leasing. This is a new company. I know she explained that. And this process, and correct me where I'm wrong, because we spoke a little bit, of kind of white boxing all these tenants, all these commercial spaces, makes it easier and more attractive for different businesses to come in. And you guys have finished this process, correct me if I'm wrong. Have you guys finished it?
We're pretty much, we have a rolling basis, as I mentioned, for the tenants that signed up, their spaces were prioritized.
Okay,
And so on this level with the pharmacy, where their space is complete, the physical therapist, we wanted to get those approvals done, and also on the downstairs level, which is what we're calling the subway level. Just scroll down there, we have some new leases on that level as well.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
One more,
One more.
thank you.
Okay, here we go. So on this level, we were able to sign Russo's Barbershop. They were
Okay.
actually one of the first tenants that we signed that actually got open and operational. Their space.
Go ahead.
That was the prettiest, nice,
It's muted on that side.
Okay, you went from echo to nothing.
Got it, no, I got it. Take that one off. Go ahead. Mute it. Turn this one off?
That's an idea. Now, you turn off the speaker.
Here you go.
Okay, so now they should be able to hear us.
Can you guys hear us?
Well, if we.
Yes.
Yes, except there's Yeah, it keeps on echoing.
It shouldn't be echoing anymore. Is it still echoing?
Now it stopped.
No, it's okay now. Yeah.
All right, good, good, okay. These guys are, shout out to the Noel, shout out to my first vice chair, we're working.
We got it.
Sorry, go ahead, that's it, go.
Oh, that's no problem at all. So on the subway level, you had, to the Arts and Science Center that took, the spaces as well as, division of the city, the credit city.
Yeah, we actually have to present here, that's the family mention center.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
that's correct. And so they basically, they signed their lease, a while ago, unfortunately, it's a little bit long, but yeah, their space built out. And then full approvals, but they have approvals now,
Okay,
they're in
good.
possession of the space, I think they're supposed to be open, like, this time, so on the 15th. And so they took a good portion of the space there, so once they open, they'll have that's taken. So that leaves us with two spaces, space three, it's about 200 square feet. On this level, we're asking $60 per square foot. And then on space D, we're looking at roughly about 500 square feet. And those spaces, again, will deliver using tenant card box. If there's any work that's needed above and beyond, we're open to having that discussion, and if they require for the car. Just to get that process again, it's like this challenging, so, in basically anticipating that and white boxing and also kind of, creating these skills. I think that that's gonna help a lot of the tenants that really see back on what interested, but I think that's not a big cost prohibitive or time consuming in a way that, really makes sense to them. I hope that now we'll be able to get that hurdle and get that into space. So you do have 4 spaces remaining. The other tenants should be open before end of year. Including the pharmacy, which should be open in November. As I said, Vernon Cafe, they're currently in the process of switching ownership, and that one should be open as well, reopened. And then we have the slavery and the GW staff that is, and the other goal that we're really trying to make sure is that to put in clauses and the leases that says that there's a requirement for them to be open. Because what we have now is the tenants that, were in place is that because the center was probably as busy as the was not here, they were not open. And so that, so it's kind of, yeah, exactly. And so we really would like to type of thing, so these days that there's a requirement that it has to a certain percentage of pay in order to keep the center active.
Yeah, you don't want signed leases when there's no traffic.
Exactly. I think that the potency that's, everyone's benefit once everyone's living, but you want for traffic in the center and that it really drives business and other, especially on that for, health watching. We do have a lot of medical, pharmacy, dentist, physical therapy, there's a little bit of synergy there.
Yes.
And so we're hoping that, that can be a one-stop shop for a lot of the people that are, teachers.
So we have so guys, yeah,
Would you think to, how this new burnout purpose to period of, business? Quality wise, like, can you have a grand opening of all these stores and invite people in, because everybody doesn't know what to do.
Sure, so we're having that conversation about how we can best, once we have the tech, because again, we were in the process of trying to get the spaces built out, and it was very much sort of a situation, where we were like, we thought to ourselves, okay, we can get these built out in 3 months, and then it turned into a much longer, process. Which again, now that that's been done, the tenants would have to, put it a little better plan and how they have this kind of city opening, and so yes, it's anticipated that once we have to more tenants kind of like operational, that there'll be some further application or some kind of long consent. To the additional promotion. We do have email blasts that will go out to prevent mortgages, residents, neighborhoods that emails letting them know what's available in the center. And also we do community outreach. I do a lot of work there here in Harlem. And so typically I get really pretty community and also the brokers to put it out there what's been done. So typically we'll check out it last months. We have had tendencies and that's that people are open.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask, I have it here, one of my questions, so, go ahead, Gary.
Have you considered, but not some of these places have have you considered some of those, because email, they will necessarily.
Coming soon times.
Exactly, possibilities for that, just because I think that last, doesn't necessarily reach the element matter or as many as we like, didn't even know that price point is going to be the difference.
Yeah, I mean, the public sign to like signs, that's really up to each individual tenant. To make that decision. Also, there's a bit of restriction with the board as to what we're allowed to do. What we have done, we have signage as far as like the leasing availabilities in the center. And what I think is gonna be the biggest promotion is to get as many of these tenants open and operational. Because I think part of what has lost kind of like, to be honest with you, I thought that it would be more challenging to get the center leased. It's kind of dark, there's not a lot of people there. But the response from the community, I've gotten a lot of calls, I've gotten a lot of interest. I think it kind of waned after we initially did the push and then nothing was getting open at the time. And that was all a result of, we were in the process of trying to behind the scenes, build out the spaces. Due to regulation, we cannot have the windows exposed once the inside is under, they didn't want it to be viewed. And so, I think people were kind of like, oh, it's just like a wall of just like, no. And so I think that the biggest thing is like, once these tenants start opening, start seeing activity in the center, that's gonna bring people to be like, oh, people are leasing, oh, you can actually call this number and something's been, done, and we tried to like set everyone's expectation, but we have gotten a lot of feedback from. And I think that the biggest challenge is that for local businesses, they don't have the resources to basically put up money for a lease and then sit and wait for it to be delivered like that's 6 months or a year from now.
Right.
They can't afford to wait for an attorney, they can't afford to, and then wait 6 months to be able to start, generating revenue from a business. And so I think that now that spaces are more readily available and they can, they know that they can sign a contract, sign a lease, and then move in a decent amount of time, whether or not be a month or 2 months, and start making money. I think that that's gonna be a lot more attractive than the rural CBD. We don't want to the spaces to here.
Right, especially in the tedious process of public building.
Correct.
Now, is there any limitation to the types of commercial tenants? You hear people talk a little bit about that, about food, specific businesses that need that limitation, but may still have that time limit.
Sure, so there are only 2 spaces that can be vented. The current is very on the market of events.
Can you share it? Which one?
Launches level, so you scroll down 2 pages. Right there. So the space is highlighted in blue. So those 2 spaces can be vented with the Asbury currently had a small vent in place. It's not very large, so you can't do like a steakhouse or anything like that because it's the, the venting is not sufficient. So if there's any non-conducive that would be practical to But ultimately, those are the two spaces that we can accept. Lower level, it is not possible. Unless it is not at all section.
Okay. That's about the only one that, has that, those features.
Correct, where we can possibly move that at the side. Putting that in the structure. Again, if we do have to go through that down that route, we're gonna have to go back into the plans for authorities, so it will take a little bit of time, but again, we've gotten the future for those construction that can help to those needed and showing to them.
And so, go ahead.
So, who's going to Port of Philippines, so they lease this whole area, they buy it, and you're working for the lessor? Who's that?
So it's a combination of groups, bridges. Actually. Bridges.
Are they developers, locally, or what are they?
They are local, they're they do a lot of development here in the city, especially in Harlem. Long Island,
This is pretty.
there is a very low risk, sector, lots of shopping centers. Yes,
So they're in it for the long.
they're in it for long. This is a great project and this is a great value amount to do that is not yet very locked in. Again, I think part of the reason why they decided to go ahead was because they saw the need to do so, and also to make it easier for the local community. To be able to have access to the spaces, again. The rents, until prior to this were some very low, and $500 per square foot. We definitely can't. And so we. Again, that's part of the reason why we decided to go ahead and white box space and also make leases first.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
White box is essentially what you're looking at here. It's sheet rock with white paint on it.
And it's crazy because you would think that that would be the simplest thing to do.
It's not.
It's not, especially when it comes to like the HVAC and air and temperature and all of those things.
It's getting bad.
So that is one thing to mention. There are no restrooms, there are individual restrooms in the space.
They're not.
There are not. On the subway level, there will be a bathroom, a restroom specifically just for the tenants. Where each one of the tenants will have punch code and access. On this level, there are two restrooms right there, like between the escalator and where the marshal's entrance is from the hall. That is currently being used by everyone that visits the center. The one on the subway level will be just for the use of the tenants.
So, I'm gonna allow, just see if, we have, oh, you have a question? I was just wondering, how many floors are you, to this out?
So currently, we have the retail space, what we're calling the east and the west wing of this center. Within the hall, that's what we're calling it, here. We have the subway level, and then we have the, what we're calling the marshal's level.
Yeah, you said that,
But then,
it's two levels.
it's two levels there. However, if you look over here on the Broadway side, there is retail on both sides of Broadway on the ground floor. And then we also have another 8,000 square feet on the second floor, that is currently under lease. With a retail tenant loading. They'll take the ground floor entrance on the corner, goes up to the second floor. Also, we have Link Fitness that's in the building, that will be now Pure Fitness.
How many units? I'm assuming the thing is divided in units. How many units are you looking to install?
Current,
There's four available ones, right?
there's currently 4 available.
And, in addition to the four, what's the total?
The total spaces, I will have to circle back to you on that, I'm not exactly sure on my total of all spaces.
But the ones that are available are at 4, right?
There are 4 currently there.
And if you had to average the, square footage of the offering that you're making, what would it be?
Of what's currently offered.
Yeah.
The smallest space is about 250 square feet and the largest is 1,100 square feet.
Wow.
So
So,
they're smaller spaces at this point. All of the larger spaces on Broadway and the East Wing have all been leased.
now, first of all, Jackie, do you have any questions? And Anthony, do you have any questions before I start asking you questions?
Becky is, and then she can go first.
Yeah, Jackie.
Thank you, Joel. Just a couple of questions. How many, I guess it would be the second floor. How many, storefronts total are on the second floor and how many vacancies?
I'm gonna repeat the question. How many total storefronts are on the second floor?
Yes,
So that would be the,
Within the hall or
well, not the ground level, well, Marshall's is I'm sorry, I forgot your terminology. Would it be considered I think not the,
it would be
the
the Marshall
hall is
level, the Marshall level, yeah, the hall.
Sure, so there are about 9, including marshals on that level. And we have 2 remaining,
you have 2 vacancies.
2 vacancies.
And what about the other floor?
On the subway level,
Yes.
we currently have 2 spaces available on the subway level remaining.
Okay, thank you.
And just for clarification, they're all $60 per square feet.
So 60 on the subway level and $65 per square foot on the Marshall's level. And we also have the page deck, I'm gonna email you as well, that has more information, maps,
Yeah.
etc.
That'd be good.
This one just outlines what the new tenants are, I wanted to make sure they had those names. Which won't be necessarily reflected on the marketing, which that's yet, but onto the board and watch.
Any other questions, guys? Jackie?
No,
Jack?
thank you. That's it. Thank you, Joel. Thank you.
So I assume that when you're looking for tenants, one of the key ways that you're soliciting people is the fact that you have thousands of commuters coming in per day, right? Like that's a major aspect of any space in this building. So my question is have you done any surveys with a sample of those commuters to see what exactly they want to see in the space that isn't there already?
So, not too much pen and pad standing there, but we do get frequent inquiries and conversations, and Miguel, who he's the building manager. He's very tied into the community and kind of like airs to the ground, kind of I mean, this guy, he knows everyone and everyone knows him. And he's been such a great resource in basically being able to help give us direction as to what the feedback, because his office is literally right there next to that Marshall's, and so he basically has all of that information. In addition to, we do have some technology that we've been using to do place reports to get an understanding of how people are spending their money. How many people are walking through the center on the street at any particular point in time. So we're able to get that data and kind of see where what direction we should head into, but also as I mentioned, we do get a lot of calls from the community, and we oftentimes hear not just what, you know, the community is looking for, but we're really hoping that this is space where the broader community can come and do some of their, whether or not it be medical, the need for medical practices, or if they need you know, a broader range of services to come in and be able to have that readily available within the center. And so I think that with Miguel, we have a pretty great grasp of like what exactly they're looking for as well. That's cool.
I'll say that you mentioned about the community a couple times, and particularly potential tenants from the community, small businesses. While you were able to get down the cost of the square footage, my question would be, since you are renting it white box, are there any abatement programs for small businesses who would have to come in and take probably an additional 2 to 3 months to build out the space the way they need to for their retail setting?
Yeah, every tenant that comes in, whether or not you white box it or not, they have to have a specific period of time where they build out the space. We have no expectation that any tenants are coming in, open and operate immediately. So they typically negotiate. So for instance, the pharmacy, because their build out requirement was a little bit more expensive, they had a few more months than some of the other tenants. That was part of their negotiation because we understand what they needed. Similarly, the physical therapists, they had few more months to be able to get them operational, and funny enough, they had, before we got signed off from Port Authority, they had their balls and they had their desk and everything was in that space just ready for sign off to get open and operational. And so we want every tenant to be successful, and so it doesn't benefit us long term or anyone long term really to have them come in and start paying rent when they're not open and operational and making money.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of commercial lessors in the city, maybe we'll negotiate with you 1 to 2 months, but that's certainly not enough time for a bigger, more expensive space to come in.
If, so for instance, if we negotiate, because everything is the negotiation, right?
Yeah.
So some tenants don't have the capability to go build out their spaces, and so sometimes it is negotiated that the landlord will take on a good percentage of that work. So if in the event that the landlord is delivering a more beyond the white box space or ready to fit out space, then we still give them a month or so to again do their fit outs and bring in their equipment or their office supplies, however that looks, and get open and operational. If it is a situation where, for instance, is a restaurant. Restaurants typically tend to take need a little bit more time to get open and operational, and so we take that into consideration, and oftentimes they will end up having a lot more free time than maybe someone who the office bill that would deliver the space. No, ready for so.
So,
I'm sorry, who's actually managing the, you can call it a mall, it's kind of like a mall, right? Who's gonna manage that when it's all fully open? You guys?
So we work solely on the leasing aspect of it, so Miguel, who I mentioned before, he's on site and every
Who
single,
does he work for?
he works for Bridges.
Bridges, okay.
yeah, Bridges is the property manager.
They're less,
Yeah.
so, and he also, it's kind of like liaison between.
So I can manage all these stores once open.
He managed every aspect of anything that down to the nuts and bolts. He's the go-to guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And he's on site every day, so there's no.
Once that bus terminal, they all exits, you know, the other numbers.
I do have those numbers, right?
Yes, like 20,000.
You might wanna go up a little bit, but no, so on any average weekday is about it's about 7,000. 7,000.
7,000.
Yep, on the weekend, and then during the week.
Traffic,
Sorry, foot traffic.
how do you know?
So we have
Counselors.
we have counts, yeah. Also, we do have again technology that we have in our company called Placer. That is able to monitor the foot traffic walking by on the street, but also the MTA has an incredible amount of data that they also share as far as like the weekend counts that stop at that station. And this center benefits from the fact that we literally walk right in. Yeah.
So my question is, I have a few, so on the PNC Citibank side, across the street from Broadway, are there any more retail locations on that side?
On the east wing,
Yeah, so this is it, so you have PNC, you have I think it's a lens shop on that side next to PNC, right? And then you have Citibank, so that's it. Oh, and you have Blink Fitness.
Yes, but we also have, so you have Vista, you have, PNC, you have City on Corner. You also have, there's a retail space that's about 1,100, square feet on the ground floor that goes up to a second level. So that corner space, that retail space that I was telling you about, the clothing store.
Yes, this is where the phone is.
That's where the clothing store is going, so they'll take that corner, go up to the second floor, that's gonna be 1,000 square feet, on the second floor.
That's next to City Bank, okay?
That's next to the PNC.
The PNC, yes. My next question is, so we have four, so I have a, do you see this yellow spot here on the, on Broadway Street? Lower level, the street level, there's a yellow, next to the European Wax Center. Let me just show, yeah, this is there. Is that a retail location, this yellow, where it's highlighted?
I'm sorry, where are you?
Of the Broadway.
Oh, no, those are just there.
The stairs,
Yeah.
okay, thanks. Okay,
And then already open community.
yes, okay. Any other questions? I have three follow-ups that, maybe going forward, we have, better communication to the board. And, George Washington Bridge, maybe Bridges, maybe Miguel, maybe you, combination of all four. Just so we can know, be in the know, because we were blindsided, we didn't really know what was going on there, but now we understand that Bridge is involved in management, you guys are doing leasing and, there's a whole thing happening there, there's a plan, where I would say most of the vacancies are closed, right? I think for the most part, right?
How much is available after some leasing happened, how much is giving? Yeah, so with the leasing that has been done already, where they've been locked in and closed, we have 4 spaces.
So you have the pharmacy, the braces, the physical therapist also, you have the retail, closed location that is opening. And you have 4 available spaces, so, things are happening in that space now. What I request from you is, you said in the pitch that you should get, forward to you in the committee. And also put us on the notifications, the email blast that you give out. So who's coming in and who's coming out, via the email, just so we're to know. And maybe give Miguel our contact info, right, like, just in case, he has an issue with the tenant or we don't want no community issues. Maybe, Miguel can point to us, and we can help them out.
Miguel Reyes, I'll send you his contact information as well.
So the contact information, the pitch deck, and just you can put my email on the email blast. Any other questions?
Well, it's also the Washington, which if you're confident that I'm on the board, that we can help promote you.
Yes,
Oh, I would love that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
yes,
Because we're doing a holiday event December, and we can invite all you guys and connect that, so.
yes.
Send me you'll send me her contact.
Yes, I'll send you your contact. Yeah, we have a bunch of community-based organizations that know, like Jackie, the one who's on, is part of Community Heights. She has a bunch of business owners, entrepreneurs in her network. You have the Washington Chamber of Commerce, which Bruce is a part of. And we have the bid. I don't know, do you know Isidro, the Washington team, Washington Heights bid? Yeah, so he's yeah, you should definitely meet Isidro. Isidro, he runs the bid, which is in where the terminal is, right? I think
No, it's 181.
that was 181. I thought it went up to 179, no?
I think they're trying to.
They're trying to extend
It
it.
runs across 181 from like Amsterdam over to.
Yes, so I'll get,
I do a lot of business in the area and I have a number of properties, so.
yes, we'll be in contact.
Yeah, it should be.
I'll send them your info so you can get us the
I'll be in touch because I know a lot of the real estate.
and for
I'll be,
yeah.
Yeah, Tommy. Okay.
that's great.
For for Jackie, can you give Jackie, I'll give her your email, you can maybe, the retail locations that are available, we can put it on your, newsletter, Jackie, what do you think? Are you there? there. Yeah, no, it's there. But you-
And I probably should say, because sometimes I think that in our marketing materials, we do just put the monthly number. I'm giving you the square foot number here, but we do give the monthly number because oftentimes I think it's easier for, a local tenant, they're kind of like, what does that translate to? But I just wanna pay this amount a month. And so, for instance, in 250 square foot space, we are asking, I believe, at $60 per square foot, it comes out to, so sorry. $12.50 a month. So 1,250. That is cheaper than an apartment, and ultimately, at the end of the day, that you're not paying taxes, you're not paying any camp charges above that. The
That's
rent
nice.
is $12.50 a month. And again, that's an asking rent, and so sometimes we'll come in and say, look, my budget's $900 or $1,000 per month, and we'll have that conversation and see like what we can do to make it make sense for them overall. But we think that those numbers are really appealing, and as long as we have the information out to the broader community, I think that, that would be of interest, so hopefully.
What the average of the square feet there, said would be, what's the monthly you just mentioned?
So like on the 250 square foot space, so that's space G,
Yeah,
on that fine fare / subway level, you're looking at $12.55. And then for the space T, which is the 500 square foot space, we're looking at 20.25, so.
I can't afford to continue to pay. How is this sustainable for Rico? I mean, how is this whole deal sustainable for the organization? Because the rent is super low, the lease are for within 1, maybe within 5 to 10 years. So
Well, keep in mind that the larger center has retailers like Marshalls, it has retailers like Citibank and.
so that's what it's talking
So
about.
that's, yeah, Broadway, outside on the street on Broadway, the rents in this market, I mean, you've been up on 181st Street. The rents are, I mean, it's
it's crazy.
it shocks people every time, like, they're like, oh, let's go uptown, and I'm like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah, sure.
So is your company competing on low prices? That's what it is?
Well, I don't know, it's not necessarily that, it's literally, we saw the inside market as something that you can have, yes, you can have the larger retailers on Broadway, the nationals, if you will, on Broadway, but if we wanted it to be more of a community-based center, we had to make it community-based prices. And I think that we could easily offset that and say, okay, we can make it more affordable inside, and have more outreach for the community, make it more appealing for people who want to go to the center versus being on the street. Because it's a trade-off, right? You have visibility on the street versus being in the center. And for a lot of retailers, sometimes it's a balance between, can I afford this and the visibility. And so to attract more retailers that are and give them more willingness to be inside the center, we have to make it more appealing. And so, it's a trade-off. And I think that, we came to the compromise that would allow for them to be able to make the space
So
live.
I see it like the mall, if you're inside the mall,
Yeah,
and people don't know you're there, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
And Marshall's is the anchor store, people come in for that, once they see that there are other new people around, they're gonna start shopping.
No, I get that. I'm just saying more from the perspective of the listener.
Yeah.
The feel of the company and the risk that they are taking in the some kind of.
I mean, keep this in mind, though, right, that it's inside the center, and while the 250 square foot space sounds, that rent sounds really good because it's $60 per square foot. As the sizes go up, because we do have that space that's 1,000 square feet, right? So now that space, we're looking at $6,000 per month. And for that, sometimes a lot of local tenants find that to be burdensome. And so it really is a factor of us saying, hey, where can we reach a compromise? Because we want quality tenants, we want tenants that are gonna be there for a very long time, we want tenants that are gonna be able to not only benefit the community and the commuters and service them, but we really need to bring in the community to be able to sustain businesses, and a lot of that is good co-tenancy. And so really getting a really great mix of the community members that are gonna be coming in and setting up shop next to each other. They're gonna feed off of each other. And so sometimes,
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate your time coming here, explaining to me what's going on, explaining to us what's going on there. Yeah, we appreciate it. I'm glad there's a plan in place. I'm glad there's tenants coming in. And I'm glad that this is the beginning of a relationship that, you know, we're gonna continue to build, with the community. Go ahead.
What's the most important thing that the board can do for you?
let anyone that you know that we have the spaces there.
Right.
You know, outreach, like, yeah, if you have any, you know, businesses that come and say, hey, I've been having trouble finding spaces and they wanna take a risk or a chance on being in the center, I think that once the new tenants come in, that's gonna be less risky, right? Before, when it was kind of vacant, the first one in, they're gonna struggle because there's no co-tenants, but now that we have more co-tenants, more people are gonna be open activated, I think that's a little less risky, but they need to know that.
Yeah, we
And
have.
they need to know that they're there,
I'll
so.
let them know.
It's coming out.
Actually, next month, it's ready to go.
We're working on a resource list, services.
Yeah.
Yes, so you'll be working on a resource guide, and you will be on our resource guide, so, for commercial spaces along with Navy Times, so.
Where are you headquartered?
I primarily work out of Harlem, but I do have an office on 58.
You're a big outfit.
We have a few offices throughout the city. I primarily work in Upper Manhattan, and so I live and work up in Upper Manhattan.
Great.
So,
Thank you so much, Jessica, appreciate it, thank you for presenting today.
How's retail going? And I'm from that.
I think like everywhere else, it's kind of it's taking longer to get deals done, but they're getting done. So I think Upper Manhattan is very unique area, whereas downtown took a hit during the pandemic, people live here, they work here. And so I didn't see the slump in Upper Manhattan the way that I saw elsewhere. So I.
We got a lot of
We had a lot of events. Part of that really came down to, again, the rents were high, people shut down, and it was very hard when you have rents that are high to maintain.
Yeah.
But I think that they came back pretty
Yeah, they
strong.
bounced back pretty.
They bounced back pretty strong, so
Yeah.
like that first year, 2020, was. I'm not gonna say that wasn't brutal, it was absolutely brutal, this is
For everyone, right.
for everyone, but I think that the rebound that I kind of saw in from Manhattan.
There's concept in the space, even, you know, with the west, here in our neighborhood, I mean, between 161 and 60. Yeah, between 159 and probably 68, where the scaffolding is, there is no single business where there is scaffolding that is empty, or single spaces.
So that's probably gonna continue as long as that scaffolding is up
Is there?
there, so.
Sure.
That's just, no one's gonna open, we usually have to drop the rents, and to be perfectly honest, with you, I think the landlords, just keeping my eye and everyone else is watching. There's no incentive for them to lease at a lower rent, and it's risky for a lot of businesses to open on a scaffolding, because first, you need to make a splash, let people know that you're there, it's really hard to do that when you're covered in scaffolding. And so for that reason, I don't know the space they're referring to well, but just based on my experience, it's not gonna go well for a while, yeah.
But thank you, we gotta move along with the agenda. We have some budget priorities we gotta go over. Thank you so much, Jessica. Nice to meet you in person, and that's all, thank you so much.
Just
All
like.
right. So just to move on, our favorite time of the year. I'm just kidding. Budgets, capital and expense budgets. But I have some good news. So I've been doing this for a while, and I feel like this is the first time that they listened. Right, they listened and they responded. So did you guys have a chance to go over the budget requests? Move on. The dollar, but we have some responses. I just wanna go over the responses because I like them. They were good. So, let's do expenses first. All right, if we go through the expenses, and on the first one we have is quarterly physical or virtual resource guide. This is, again, for people watching, these are what we recommended to the preliminary budget. To the Manhattan President's Office, we, right, that's what we send it to, right? So we send it to, I don't know what we sent it to, but we sent it out, and this committee sent out last year budget requests that we thought of. And the first one on the expenses was quarterly physical virtual resource guide, website application to include resources available to businesses from local community-based government and private companies. So this is on the expense budget, on the second page. So under business development.
Oh, yeah.
On the business development, right? If we go to page 26 of do you have the booklet? We have is there an extra copy over there in the booklet? If not,
This goes to city.
yeah. On
this.
yeah, oh yes, city planning.
Yes.
Page 26.
We can put the one.
Oh, yes. Right, on page 26. It says. The explanation is. SBS regularly offers business education through Fast Track. Entrepreneurship program for new and existing small businesses on the side here. So SBS also offers various webinars, workshops for small business owners to develop marketing strategies. Learn how to become MWD certified, receive compliance education and more. I looked into the Fast Track Internship Program, good program, actually exactly what we asked last time, which is kind of like a website and kind of like a program to give them resources, fast track. So for this year, we don't necessarily have to include this budget item. So when we requested it last year, we didn't know that this was available. So check for that one, which is good. The next item is on page 31. And I want to go over this because I said I read that the responses from SBS here. On page 31, we wanted increased grant funding to community-based organizations that specifically assist small business. And here it says explanation, SBS is currently supporting an Inward Merchant Association with a $90,000 grant to support merchant organizing and provide small business support in India. In addition, SBS awarded $100,000 public realm grant to the Van Allen Institute in partnership with the community of the Heights to develop and install new light installations in Washington Heights and public plazas. So it kind of gave us a peek into what exactly they were giving community-based organizations like Claw and like IMA. We got 90,000 in IMA, we got 100,000 to community of the Heights. So this is what we asked for, they have fulfilled, which is good. These are good responses. Last year's responses, I don't know who was in charge of this, it was not good. But this one, this is good. Now, SBS will continue to send email notifications to all community boards when new grants are available to CBOs and bids. We encourage them to share it with their network. So complete. 2 for 2, that's not bad. Page 33. Page 33. All right, so just during the time, where we were talking a lot about, cannabis. So, we recommended to the, city planning for an education campaign on cannabis from the OCM or SBS. Their response, Cannabis NYC, which is a department they created, and response, supports the creation of good jobs, successful small businesses, sustainable economic opportunity to address historical harms of the past, cannabis prohibition. Since 2003, cannabis, New York City, launched Lift Off Cannabis NYC, the city's first and largest cannabis public education and outreach campaign. Look at that. In collaboration with the New York City Sheriff's Department, Mayor's Office of Equity, Office of Cannabis Management, Cannabis NYC has hosted 25 plus lift off tour stops across all 5 boroughs. This is an education campaign, which is good. Reaching over 10,000 New Yorkers. The tour shared critical information about the responsible consumer behavior, licensing, entrepreneurship, and workforce training involving industry regulations. In addition, Cannabis NYC aligns its educational programming with the state's licensing timelines and the needs of the auxiliary businesses and the ecosystem supporting medical, adult use, and hemp markets. Currently, last thing, Fast Track for Cannabis Entrepreneurs Program offers free 10-week entrepreneurship program, training, connecting aspiring established cannabis entrepreneurs to vital education, guidance, mentorship. Interested individuals can visit newyorkcity.gov/cannabis for more information. That sounds like an education campaign to me. These are the things that I'm gonna put in minutes. These are great responses. So check on that. We do not have to include that on our next budget. Page 28, let's go back to page 28. So there's our last item on the expense was expand Fund Finder website to include more grants. If you guys recall, Fund Finder is a new Fund Finder was a new program, I would say it started in, I believe, 2023. Through SPS, you can go online and look for funding through different CDFIs, different grants. We wanted last year to include it in our budget so they can expand to other grants and loan opportunities just to expand their reach. Here is their response. NYC Funds Finder is a first of its kind, no cost online marketplace for small businesses to view available loans and grants for NYC entrepreneurs. The website includes available small business loans, grants in the city, state, and federal level, and from private lending partners. So, they're saying that they're including all in all different levels and private, which is important. So that is a priority we had, and so we are 4 for 4 on the expense. Yeah, this is good. I'm telling you, I was impressed.
Well, can I say something about this? I think what's interesting, because the thing to remember about this exercise is that the agencies are responding whether or not they agree with us that that's what money should be allocated for. But they're not the ones ultimately deciding whether to fund or not fund, or increase funding or decrease. That ultimately sits with the city council.
Right.
So I really think it's impressive that all 4 of your expenses, your agency agreed with, because if we look at most of these other ones, the agency either like, we don't agree with this, or can't really accommodate because it's nothing to do with us.
Right.
So great work, but yeah, no tell whether or not city council agreed with it, but
Right.
I'm glad your agency did, that's
At
awesome.
least, what we came up with, and maybe we were ignorant of the facts that there were programs already being involved in the background, and we saw it as a need. We sent it to SBS and they said, yes, we're doing that. So yeah,
This is what it looks like.
wait until we get to the capital, because this really, because most of our things are expenses, but on the capital side, usually these things are, we don't agree with you, or we'll forward it for next year. They'll say something that to the conclusion of like maybe put it into the budget, or we're already working on that, or this is the wrong department. But take a look at this. On the capital side.
Yeah.
The first one we have is reestablish the NYC Small Business Opportunity Fund. For those who don't know, I don't know if you guys remember, this was a great New York City Small Business Opportunity Fund that didn't require 2 months of tax returns. It was strictly a startup fund from NYC. It was extremely great. I don't know if you remember talking about it with me, Bruce, but it was a way for entrepreneurs that are just starting out, that, maybe have an idea and they need funding. And this opportunity fund was, made by New York City. However, it ran out pretty quickly. It ran out maybe in 2 weeks. So last year, what we said, we were like, listen, let's reestablish this New York City Small Business Opportunity Fund. Call it something else, do something about it, but we need it again, because that was a great program for starters. So here's our response, page 11. Page 11. This is good news for all of us. Where is it? All right. In 26, in May of 2024, the city made a $10 million investment to see the city's next major small business loan fund. Oh, got a peek into the future. It's called the New York City Future Fund. The fund will accelerate the growth of hundreds of new small businesses in New York City by addressing the gap in the access to input capital faced by small business owners, particularly early stage businesses, as well as BIPOC and women entrepreneurs that otherwise often cannot obtain traditional bank finance. Wow. Look out for the New York City Future Fund. This is number on page 11, 26. This is good because we were wanting it back. We didn't know it was in the works, but it is in the works. It's called the NYC Future Fund. Now it says, SBS will send an email blast to all community boards once the fund is live. We encourage any small business interested in the loan to call the small business hotline for referral to our existing capital access house at 188 SBS 4 NYC. This is good because this is a fund that they're working on, and in the future, we'll be able, I'm pretty sure the community board is gonna get addressed, and they're gonna be informed about this NYC future plan. So shout out to SBS for coming back with the opportunity fund. So that's checked. We don't need that.
Looks like it already.
Uh,
The future fund.
Yeah,
already
it is.
exists, that's good.
Yeah. All right, so we have part of our capital expense was fund phase 2 of the Cannabis NYC Loan Fund. You guys remember, we had a loan fund that New York City on the city level was giving loans, not loans, excuse me, yes, it was a loan fund for existing cannabis stores that already were operational. New York City was funding some of these businesses, but it was only for those that were participating in the card program. So what we wanted was a phase 2 for Cannabis NYC. So include cannabis stores that haven't been open. So we look on page 19. On page 19, we get a response from SBS. In partnership with the New York City Economic Development Corporation, SBS introduced the Cannabis NYC Loan Fund to provide affordable financing for entrepreneurs, building on New York State's effort to support the developing industry. The administration provided $9.4 million to seed and support both phase 1 and phase 2 of the loan fund. Look at that. Phase 2 launched in October 2024 with an initial $2 million available for justice involved NYC-based retail licensees. Phase 2, what we asked for, will be leveraged to further attract private investments with a goal of creating a $30 million fund to strengthen the Cannabis NYC Loan Fund's capacity. The fund is expected to launch in spring of 2025. Okay, and it aims, it may have, because this is a city agency, so who knows? Maybe that means fall 2025. But I haven't looked if it has one. And it aims to serve both early stage and more established licensed cannabis businesses. While two will be open to all licenses, conditional adult use retail dispensaries will remain a priority, ensuring that the fund advances equitable industry development across the New York City's emerging legal cannabis landscape. Look at that. Phase two is coming. I don't know if it started already.
It doesn't have to have started.
No, I don't think it has started already, but it is in the works, right? Isn't that exciting? We asked for something, we didn't know what was happening. SBS responded. It is coming, $30 million fund for other retail licenses.
Just sense of, is there like a through line from us to their offer?
I think
Is
it's,
it well known?
not really,
It's
not,
just a scholarship.
yeah, I mean, to be honest, if they're saying that here. Right, they're not gonna put something that is not actually true, I mean, I wouldn't, I don't see a department being dishonest in their explanation.
No, that's not the point. Absolutely. Okay.
Right, I think that it is true, just because I'm gonna Google it as soon as we're done here, but I think phase two is coming.
No, they cannot lie.
So yeah, with this like this, yeah, I don't see
They
it.
can promise things that they will be able to.
Oh,
Bureaucratics not fools them. And that could happen.
I understand. Okay, so let's go to our third ask on the capital side. Increase the capacity of My City AI to help identify local resources. So My City AI was an AI on the SBS side that you can type in. Remember, we did a whole demonstration last year where we would type in, hey, I want to start a coffee shop with some of the licenses that I need. And it will go and it will detail and give you a link to the licenses that you need. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we said, maybe let's expand its usage to continue to train the model to better assist entrepreneurs. So on page 13, we have a response.
How do you know it's page 15?
Oh, because I did it before the meeting.
Oh, okay, because I, not, those.
Oh, no, it doesn't say it. It doesn't say it.
Right.
Oh, all right, so. This is the only one that said, it doesn't pertain to it. And I think we should include it, again in our, budget. Because I think it was sent to the wrong department. Because My City IAI is not the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunication, it's to SBS. So this is why we got a response. Please contact the agency directly and prompt you for more information.
And did they say the agency?
No, they said the responsible agency is that, but I think the responsible agency is SBS.
Yeah, right.
So I think that we could include this budget item again in our next budget.
I'm gonna ask a friend who work on the technology agency and see who exactly.
What it is? Cause I think it is SBS, cause when you go on My City, yeah, it says SBS on the hyperlink. Yeah, you can ask them. So that was a response that was, I was not too pleased with, but we're batting, we're Hall of Famers. We're batting us 7 out of 8. It's not bad. All right, so,
Okay, so we're gonna review this.
yeah, we're gonna renew this one. This budget item specifically, we're going to. All right, number 4. Develop an application or software that allows community boards to identify newly registered businesses in the area by using New York State's Department of State data to help these new businesses immediately access resources. We were talking last year that businesses may not have a brick and mortar store, but they may be registered in doing business here in Rock Island, Inwood. But we would have no idea because they're not in front of us. So we asked SBS to come up with a website or some sort of software to allow the community board to have access to these people starting businesses that are doing business within our district. Right? So we asked this, and on page 10, this I found that I like this. This is great. Listen to what SBS said. Although SBS does not have the resources to develop a database containing these new businesses that don't have storefronts. Of all new businesses, we are able to provide the number of businesses currently operating within your community and insights regarding business composition. Please contact us at intergov@sbs.nyc.gov to request such information. This is interesting because although we may not know what businesses, we can request that information. Maybe not as software, they have this, they don't have a database, but they have the data. We can request that data to be sent to us.
For publication.
For pub-
community.
Yes, so we can maybe have their contact information, their email of these new businesses. So we can develop a better network for businesses to say, okay, here are the resources that, you know, you may know, may not know. So I think this is pretty cool because, as the chair, I can be like, hey, you know, give me the names of businesses, maybe put it on our email blast of our business resource guide. And, you know, maybe they'll find something that's important in that business resource guide that they can take advantage of.
So we're gonna say how this is going.
And this is done. This is done, I think, yes. All right. So the last one, create a fund to assist restaurant. This is the one that I couldn't find, so we're gonna find.
You don't care about this anymore, do we?
We do.
We should care because it's, you know,
We do.
the regulation is temporary, it's just seasonal, and when the season is over, what do they do with all the equipment?
Yes,
It's New York City, people don't have even space in their own closet.
I think so, what it reads here, so we can, talk about it, is create a fund to assist restaurant owners. Rebuild and store their outdoor seating structures according to the new regulations. So, outdoor seating is a hot topic, has been for a year and a half now, it was great this summer. I think more applications are coming through the pipeline for next year. But they have strict regulations on what can and cannot be built. And for how long, it's from April to November. It has to be collapsible, it has to be something that it can be removed, put back. People need, business owners need to invest in this, and store this when during the winter months. So we asked last year for a fund to help businesses create these outdoor structures. And I want to see what the response. Yeah.
It's probably closer to what Rose is saying, but they are never gonna be very enthusiastic about it.
You think so?
Who is not very enthusiastic?
You tell me this, you tell me.
Okay,
No, I think there are, because it really brings a tremendous revenue. City.
I mean, they are not gonna come out and tell you that they are canceling it, but they might just emphasize it internally.
so I have it in page 11. Page 11. Right there, it says, the agency connects businesses to capital access through our Business Solution Center. Through network of local lenders, SBS can also help support business owners with compliance if they wish to participate in the Diamond South NYC.
It's just good luck to you.
Yeah, it's really
But that's not an answer that is helpful to any small
It
business.
goes to what Chris just said, this is wishy-washy.
They do mention the Business Express team, which I understand, what they're saying that, you know, there already are lending solutions out there.
It's not the same, it's not the same person.
We should review the report.
Oh, yeah, let's renew that request. What do you think, Bruce, before you go? Oh, did you?
No,
I did. Okay, so we have two renewal requests. Okay.
So- Can I just
Yeah,
reiterate what I said before? I think the important point here, though, is that the agency agreed with you that a fund should be created. It's just that the agency does not have the choice to fund it. It then goes to city council. who sees, okay, the community board wants this. And the agency agrees with what the community board said. So then city council is the ultimate arbiter to say, should we create a fund or not? That's how this works, right?
Okay,
All we're reading here is whether or not the agency agreed or disagreed.
yeah, because I didn't even read it, but on top of that, it does say agency response, agency report supports and can accommodate.
So what they're trying to say to city council is, our policy position is we agree with what the community board said. And if you fund it, we can accommodate it, so please fund it,
Okay,
because we have the staff to do it, we have the technology to do it, that's what they mean by can, it's within our
Priority.
charter to do it, right?
so let me ask you, do you think it's, should we remove?
I would renew,
I think.
but I would do two things, I would say that you're renewing again, like last year we asked for this year we're asking for even more resources because of increased demand. And I think I would spell it out a little bit more, what you mean by a fund.
Should we also start considering, lobbying, for lack of a better word, city council, like,
That's essentially what we are, as a lobbyist, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
But on behalf of community
on the
members,
kind of the community, yes.
Okay, so we'll close the line.
but I really like.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, other than the one that went to the wrong agency, your agency agreed with all the fund.
I don't need it tonight.
So here's my, the last thing I wanna talk to you guys about,
That's not for the city.
is. And correct me if I'm wrong here, can we talk about cause I always get this confused. The capital versus expense budgets,
Yeah,
is tricky, you explain it to us, in terms that maybe I can't, I'm not well versed in it, but can you explain it to us a little bit, like?
I think the way to look at it is, so you've probably gleaned from this process. The budget is done each year, right? So we operate on fiscal years, most government agencies do. The expense line items are things that should be able to start and end within that fiscal year. Capital expense items are things that will typically have to be refunded in order to see the light at the end of their tunnel. Typically are projects that could take 2 to 5 years from start and end. That's the way I'd look at it.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I looked at it, but I always thought capital was more like an investment, investments take longer to kind of see the ROI on it.
Yeah.
No return, but expenses are more immediate.
It's, yeah,
Right, usually operational or a program or something. Now, my ask to you and to the committee is, and this is the kind of the hardest part here, is. Can we think of new items I know we have some on the capital side, right? On the capital side, we have two that we're renewing, My City AI. And the fund for the outdoor seating. Do we have anything on the expense side that we can think of right now?
We have to think of like a model.
That's it, because what happens to happen is that we have to rank them. If we think about multiple, we have to rank. This October meeting is usually the longest because of this ranking, but. Do we have any ideas from the committee side that we wanna see? Get ranked, because our ranking would go into now the whole budget of the community board, and then the whole board will rank it. Our options against the other committee's options. So, do we have any capital or expense? Budget items that you guys think at the top of your head that we can include in our ranking?
And so you know that, but after listening to Jessica and Bruce and I agreeing on Broadway, the scaffolding, the empty spaces, is there anything to that end that we can request? As either capital improvement, I don't know, because I really don't know how this process works. But I think that one of the things that we owe to the small businesses of the community is the possibility to access space. And access space.
Yeah.
And not only that, but also spaces that are viable for businesses, and
it's unsafe in some level how some of the areas look because of the business community shutdowns and stuff for him, the trash in the area is unbelievable. So I don't know how to put all that into a request, but I think that it's paramount that we address that one way or another. Whether we get the result that we want to know, that's a whole different thing, or at least to put it out there as a concern.
Okay,
So
so,
it's some sort of sundry business assistance, we can limit some of the things.
so maybe we can say to, address, vacancies, maybe a marketing campaign to address vacancies in Uptown.
But the campaign without the appropriateness of the establishment means nothing, because it's really what you said that struck me as very true. Who want to go into a space that you can even see, you can even look at when you're walking by, because it's all hidden by stuff.
Properties.
Yeah,
Okay,
but, you know, okay,
so, and so if you're not talking about specifically the marketing, meaning like, hey, listen, we have available spaces, but rather the resources
Yeah.
of how these businesses occupy these spaces.
That makes
Okay.
it be viable for businesses.
Okay, so that can improve the visibility of the businesses, for instance, through removal of scaffolds and other obstructions.
Now, in that same breath, we mentioned Bruce last time about the lights. From the Broadway Mall, maybe we can do something on the expense side to, have. City funding be given to maybe for, the Broadway Mall. To expand, all the way up to Boston Heights.
That we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you know where,
Yeah.
Broadway Mall gets their funding,
From the city.
from the city?
We're almost now an intersection.
Do you know what
Yeah,
city
right.
department, you know what city department?
No.
And-
I think the environment funding too from donations. We do have those main funding. But I know the director.
Okay, so address vacancies, now.
No, the scaffolding is the landlord, it's not the business.
I know.
And the landlord doesn't pay to have the work done. They just keep the scaffolding up. It just goes crazy and it gets out of hand. And DLB,
Totally. We are going to run our coffee.
you are,
So
Some people's.
I think there's two ways you can deal with that issue. I think the first is if you wanted to direct an item to SBS. I think the first way would be to have them establish a resource specifically for intaking complaints and helping liaise and acting as an advocate on behalf of the small business owner who lodges that complaint for a non-compliant scaffold in front of their small business. So that could be one way. The other way is nothing's inhibiting you because you're the business development committee from directing one of your line items to DOB. So you can also say, DOB, we want your funding to be increased so that you can enforce these non-compliant scaffolds in front of small businesses. So those I think would be the two ways you would address that problem.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you, Randy,
Uh,
that's really good.
So. Good.
so we're done.
No, we gotta rank these, we have to rank, I know this is a long meeting, but we have to rank these. Before we leave, we have to
How
rank,
many do we have?
so right now we have, to address the.
Yeah, but it's just that we
on the
were-
marketing,
yeah,
wait,
we should-
wait.
Dude, we shouldn't have had we should have rescheduled the one from that date and made this a priority.
No,
But the last time we did this one, you took up the whole,
we did,
yeah, it's a long process.
it is a long process, we're almost done, if you give us about 15 minutes, we can rank.
Okay, then.
We don't have a lot of items, so, it's,
Those would probably be capital,
those are capital, right?
Yeah.
That's fun, I'm thinking.
because the building owners have to put up scaffolding every 2 years to comply with that local law that requires them to edifice their buildings, so you would want that to be a continuum.
Okay. AI. School is, Outdoor seating.
That's not 4 items.
There will be. Compliance. Scaffolding. Okay, and then, address vacancies. Will fund. Marketing. And we also have number 5, which is, to increase. The fund. Given to. Broadway Mall. On, to include lights. And, Washington.
Is that the holiday lights?
Right, out there.
Yeah, and also. Continue the mall. Expansion further north.
But isn't
They kind of stopped at 155.
that's park stuff, right? Parks is the Broadway Mall is parks. So you would just direct this. in
Yeah, well,
parks.
yeah.
It wouldn't be,
So they get, they get the funding through parks.
Is that who it is, Parks?
Broadway Mall is run by Parks Department, yeah.
Really?
The centerpiece of Broadway. No. Actually, if you look at the sign underneath them, the Parks logo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, so do we have any capital expense? Excuse me, expense budget items? What, no, SCD, DLB is, vacancies. I would probably, to address the vacancies through, a fund or marketing, do you think that's a capital? Or do you think that's, an expense?
Say that again.
To address the vacancies through, marketing, or a fund to address things. Would there be?
It's not that expensive.
I would think it's an expense, I mean theoretically, you would want the vacancies to be addressed within one fiscal year, you don't want that to be a continuing thing.
So I would put that. Expense. Okay, so we have one expense item. So we don't have to,
You don't have to write that.
we don't have to rank that. So we have 4, and here we're gonna rank them. So we have My City. Outdoor sitting, seating,
Focus on that.
the DOB non-compliant scaffolding. And 4, the increase to fund, Broadway Mall to expand it further than 155th Street.
But didn't we say that's part?
We're just addressing it to parks, not SPS. So that's 4. Everybody rank, you guys rank, 1 through 4,
Yeah,
what would be your priority?
my one,
Go ahead.
we can do like bar. We can do it like bar charts.
Okay.
So my one would be like, the AI thing,
Okay,
AI city.
Yeah.
2, scaffolding,
okay.
3. What's the other one?
Uh,
Actually, the 3 is, the restaurant thing,
outdoor seating,
yeah, and then the lighting on the floor,
Yeah,
4 is like,
you know.
good with that.
okay.
So scaffolding 1,
Again. Scaffolding 1,
yeah, outside sitting 2. Vacancy 3.
What?
My city 4 and program 5.
oh wait, so,
But
vacancy, the vacancies,
the vacancies kind of vary to the scaffold.
no, so the vacancies is actually.
Oh, it's an expense,
It's
yeah,
an
there's
expense, so we have scheduled, you have 1 scaffolding, 2 outdoor.
Two outdoor seating, 3 my city,
Okay.
4 Broadway.
Um. And you're good with Carl's ranking, Bruce? So mine is, also AI is the number 1 option for me. Scaffolding is number 2, yep, Yeah, I have the same rankings as you and Carl.
So I'm sorry.
You lost. Let's go. I'm sorry. Let's go.
So you lost.
Okay.
You both did.
So,
I didn't lose because at the end, they're right, they're close, so.
so again, these things are gonna be forwarded to the general board and will vote, later on this month. So we have one expense item, which is to address the vacancies, and then we have AI, scaffolding to outdoor ceiling 3, and then brighter lights for, the Broadway mall lights to expand them.
So for the scaffolding one, you're gonna do one line item for that one, but are you doing it directed to SBS or DOB?
I will probably do both, I'll do 2 line items.
Then you have to rank both.
Okay,
Then you have 5 items.
I see.
we're gonna have 2 items for the vacancies. We would have,
I see it one.
oh,
You
okay.
see what I'm saying with the scaffolding one, you would, if you,
We don't do.
cause you could do 2 separate line items, one addressing small business services and one addressing DOB. Or you can do one, and not do 2, but then just pick which one you're doing.
What are we gonna address it first to, DOB or SBS?
Well, DOB is the primary,
DOB,
entrance, and then.
yeah,
they
And then
can- yes.
they can be the one that made the decision, so.
And what would we request for SBS?
Well, SBS, what I was envisioning is they would get funding to establish a resource where they would advocate on behalf of small business owners who lodge complaints. So if I own a coffee shop, scaffold's been in front of my coffee shop for 3 years, I can go to SBS and they'll assign me someone who would take my complaint and manage it from start to end.
So they'll be,
Yeah, they would go before DOB on your behalf, that would be what I would think you'd request. But really, the nuts and bolts is DOB has the enforcement power to actually deal with it.
To increase the enforcement
Yeah,
on non-compliant standpoint.
we are.
and for you, since your business development, I would add particularly in front of small businesses, yeah. So this way, when they do get that funding, they're not just taking care of, the marshals. They're taking care of all these small businesses on Broadway that are getting impacted.
Because the marshal, people know that the marshal is there.
Yeah. But there's usually never a scaffold in front of them
In front
anyway.
of them anyway.
Alright, good. So we have our ranks for both. Any old business? Any new business?
I have a quick question.
Yeah,
Can we remember, make announcement in terms of, like, there is a gala happening for a non-profit organization that is requesting small businesses to make donation, not just to make donation, but to be known in the agency, because that agency provides services in our community. Can we do that?
Yeah, I would recommend you do that in the general board and sign up for a public session.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Public session.
Member privilege.
Yeah, we have a motion?
Motion.
Bruce, motion second?
Thanks.
Alright, motion to adjourn, meeting adjourning. Guys,
Yes.
before you guys leave,
You just like one of the meetings.
before you guys leave, this is outside the